So, and our next keynote session is with Veronica Rivero from LinkedIn. She's a LinkedIn account executive with a great experience in the corporate world. And Veronica will tell us a little bit more about how sales and marketing can work together with LinkedIn and LinkedIn Sales Navigator, and probably with some AI features even. So, Veronica, hi. Hi.
Hi, how are you? Thank you for having me.
Great. Thank you for coming to us. So, yeah, the floor is yours, please.
Great. No, thank you. Hi, everyone. I'm Veronica Rivero. I'm based in Chicago, Illinois. A little bit about myself. I was born and raised in Lima, Peru. I studied business at the University of Notre Dame, not too far from here, and have 15 years of global sales and marketing experience, working anywhere from small startups to global organizations like NBC Universal, Verizon Media, and the National Basketball Association. I'm a big sports fan, so my dad was really proud of that one. Most recently, I'm at LinkedIn, the sales solutions team, where I help small and mid-market clients use LinkedIn and Sales Navigator and all the new and great advanced AI features to drive profitable growth. So there are three things I want you to get out of today. If you remember anything that I said, these are the three key things. One, how to streamline sales and marketing via social selling. Two, how to find, engage, and elevate the conversation with the people that matter at your target companies or organizations. And three, where to get started with AI, right? If you're a seller or marketing, or you're starting your own business, right? Keeping in mind that AI is only as good as the data that fuels it and the people that use it. So let's get started. And please put any questions in the chat while I go through the presentation. I would love to hear from you. So, what's going on in sales and marketing and social selling these days? Well, I have conversations with sales, marketing, rev ops leaders basically every day, and what I hear is that every business today, no matter how big or small you are, is seeking profitable growth. Every sales and marketing team, we all need to be better today than we were yesterday. We need to do more with less. In this era of financially responsible growth, businesses are operating with tight margins, right? While still expecting a lot from us. This puts a lot of pressure not only on the leadership, but also on us sales and marketing professionals, right? As we navigate something that we've seen a lot, not just internally, but everywhere I've been working on. Declining win rates, high churn of current customers, and then high expectations from Gen AI, right? So anyone experiencing any of those three, you can put a comment in the chat, because I know every professional I talk to these days is experiencing one or the other, and they're wondering, right? So what do we do? What do we focus on this sea of sameness, right? There's a lot of information out there. But there's something that is key and top of mind for everyone, and your number one focus should be getting enough high quality conversations with the people that matter are your target organization. Whether you're starting your own business, right, and you're looking for clients, whether you work at a large or global organization or a startup, you need to focus, whether you focus on getting new business or expanding existing customers. This is still the one truth, right? When it comes to B2B sales, that remains constant, and the best sales and marketing people I've worked with or that I've talked to on my day to day, have figured out how to do this. But some leaders, have still struggled, to scale. There are certain behaviors that top sellers and marketers have that they expose that they need to, scale across their organization to be successful these days. Well, if you're not familiar with LinkedIn, I'm assuming you are because you're all in here today. We do have three lines of businesses. So there's one that is talent solutions, which I'm sure anyone here has applied for a job on LinkedIn. I got my job on LinkedIn through LinkedIn. So that's talent solutions, recruit, etc. Then we also have marketing solutions, which are the ads that you may see on the platform, right? Like come work for us, or have you read this white paper, etc. And then last but not least, is LinkedIn for Sales, which is our tool Sales Navigator, which is basically focused on sales and marketing. There's a lot of information out there. We cut all the noise and we only focus on, the companies and the people within those companies that you care about. I have personally used a revenue intelligence tool, Sales Navigator, for over 10 years at all those companies that I mentioned at the beginning. And I wouldn't have been able to be, part of President's Club or successful in my sales career without it. And that was the number one reason I wanted to join this line of business at LinkedIn. Not only because I love the tool and have been a customer of it, but also because I truly believe in the power of this tool. And I wouldn't work, to be completely honest, for any organization that doesn't have Sales Navigator in their tech stack. Why is that? Well, number one, the cutting edge technology, right? Just keep in mind that Gen AI is only as good as the data that fuels it, right? And LinkedIn powered by Microsoft, which is trusted data. Also first party data, right? Like you all update your LinkedIn profile, right? Based on what you want to show to the world. We don't make you say or do anything that you don't want to, So that's really important because it's a trustworthy network that unlocks just basically the largest professional network out there, right? We're like over 1 billion people. But I know there's a lot of information that's just only on LinkedIn. But why Sales Navigator, and what are the key differences, right? Well, number one, like I said, I like to use this analogy of if people here have, I don't know if you have an Apple or a Droid, but you'll have either Apple News or Droid News, right, in your phone. You can either see everything that's out there, or you can follow, right, the for example, I follow the Wall Street Journal, ESPN for my sports, et cetera, et cetera. So I only focus on those, outlets that I care about and the people within there. The same thing for Sales Navigator. It's really a revenue intelligence tool, that helps you scale those top behaviors of top sellers, which are 3. And you'll see if you get to know me, I really love acronyms, and that's a way for me to remember things and also be more succinct when I try to explain or clarify something. So what are those 3 behaviors of top sellers? Fee, F-E-E. One, we all have to find the right people at our target companies, right? Whether it is a new client, again, if you're starting your business, whether it's the CRO, CEO, CMO at a target or global organization that you're trying to close, or expanding your connections within a current customer that you want to expand to different lines of businesses. You have to find the right people in order to be successful. 2, E, engage. You have to engage with them effectively by using key signals to be relevant. I know there's a lot of conversation out there, like, should I personalize everything? Should I reach out, spray and pray, as they say, send them 100 emails or emails, etc. Well, the main thing that is important to keep in mind is it's not about quantity over quality or being personalized. It's about being relevant, and with LinkedIn Navigator, you can use the key signals and also leverage your relationship capital, right? Those connections, those people that might be within your company or extended network to be relevant and engage, because sometimes you only get one shot, right, at that first meeting or call or first impressions. So you need to engage effectively and be relevant. And then last but not least, once you finally get that meeting, right, and have the opportunity to meet with that person that you've been wanting to meet, you need to elevate every single conversation by showing up prepared, right? And I know that may sound exhausting in today's date where we all have back-to-back meetings, right? Going from one to another, and there's no breaks or et cetera. Well, this is when the beauty of Gen AI comes into play. Gen AI is not, my personal thoughts is that they're not here to replace you. It's more as an aid. Think of it as an assistant that will help you elevate that conversation. So for example, I've used ChatGPT to prepare for conversations. I would enter prompts like, what does this company do? Who are their target buyers? And who are their top customers? Tell me any challenges that are in the news. But now I also have, at Sales Navigator, we have a tool called Account IQ, which does something similar, but also goes a step farther and reads the 10Ks for the company. Gathers not only all the news that may be, online, but also all the activity that's on LinkedIn, right? If their people are being very active on the platform, if there's some news, if they're hiring or reducing any headcount in different departments, we take all that information into consideration and give you, their top priorities, challenges, what are they looking for, what are they focused on, so that you can only spend 10 minutes reading that summary and come prepared to elevate that conversation, right? Show up as a trusted advisor, because no one likes to be sold, right? People buy from people they like, but also if they are relevant to their business, to their function, and what they're doing. So definitely, use Gen AI. I've used many different versions and tools. Of course, working at LinkedIn, being powered by Microsoft and OpenAI. Our tools are only as good as the data that fuels it. And the data from Microsoft and OpenAI is definitely very powerful and trusted. And it has helped me save at least 30 minutes a day, if not more, in not only saving time and coming prepared, but also doing that research quickly and having sources that I can trust, right? Whether it's the company's 10K or other information, the sources are listed there. So you don't have to worry about outdated information or it's not up to date or coming up with a stat, right, from 5 years ago when we're in 2024. So things like that are key. And the world's moving so fast. So we need to keep that in mind and be thoughtful and relevant in everything that we do. So the beauty of sales and LinkedIn for Sales or Sales Navigator is that also, I've worked at many different organizations and I've used so many tools in my tech stack, from Outreach, Sales Loft, Apollo, LinkedIn Sales Navigator, LinkedIn.com, you name it, and I'm always happy. And I like showing up as a trusted advisor to my clients, because people like to buy from people they trust as well. And I usually like, if I can give you any advice on how to show up as a trusted advisor, is I always start with maybe the shortfallings from whatever you're offering. So for example, for LinkedIn Sales Navigator, if you're looking for emails and phone numbers, we're not the tool for you. LinkedIn doesn't make members, we don't sell your emails or phone numbers. If you want to keep your profile open and have those available, that's great. But if you don't, we don't make you, we don't sell that. And why do we do that? Because we're basically your go-to-market tool, how to help you streamline, sales and marketing, so that we can stop that, I like to call the ping pong game, right? And for those of you that have worked, together with sales and marketing or either or role, we're all trying to get more high quality leads, right? But, this ping pong game of, marketing, and I'm not here to blame anyone, I'm just using examples, but I like to call it ping pong game because, we all hear, like, if you're in sales, well, marketing is not getting us enough qualified leads, they're not sharing relevant content. Then sales like, well, and then marketing is like, well, sales is not calling those leads, right? So it's kind of like back and forth versus we need to be unified, right? How do we do that? With social selling, and we're all following the right signals, right? That to make sure that we're working together towards that same goal, which is, shortening those sales cycles, using that relationship capital, whether it is from your marketing team, your sales team, your entire company, your past customers, your past colleagues, to make sure that you get those key alerts, right? There's key alerts out there that to help you find what is the best path into my target company, to the people that I want to talk to. AI can do so much, but it will not replace you. It will help you get the conversation started, get some ideas, right? And also assist. Think of it as your assistant next to you that will help you just be more efficient, right? Whether it is helping you draft personalized messaging using, Gen AI as a starting point. That's something that Navigator can do by gathering all the posts. Let's say, you're looking to talk to someone at your target company, and you can see if they post on LinkedIn, if they follow certain companies or influencers. So we gather all that intel instead of you having to do hours of research. And we elevate the conversation by telling you, hey, did you see Veronica used to work at the MBA? I saw that you're connected to this person that's now at my target company. Would you mind making an introduction, right? Or we highlight the key points so that you can be relevant and have a better conversation. We provide you summaries of qualified leads and companies, and also saving you hours of prep time. And I think one of my favorite parts is also integrating with your CRM or your tech stack, right? Like we all have. Sometimes I feel like sometimes when I work at startups, I get access to more tools than when I work at a global organization. And why is that? Because of course startups want to test and try fast, fail faster, and but sometimes it's a little bit too much, right? So identifying what those tools are, but also making sure they all talk to each other. They're all, again, just going back to my point of being the data being as good as the foundation of it, of the data that fuels it. It's really important that we all work together, not only internally in our different roles, but also that our tech stack talks to each other so that we can save a lot of time. And we all, if I can leave you with a good message here, we all have the same hours in the day. It doesn't matter if you're just starting your career or at a high level executive. We all have the same hours in the day. And being intentional, but also helping you prioritize your time and efforts with the right context, right? And the right people that are showing some buying signals, whether it is they're clicking on your LinkedIn profile, they're clicking on your ads, they're doing the research. We have so many different signals that can help you narrow down, right, your total addressable market to those people that are actually ready to engage with you, ready to have a high quality conversation, right, with you, and they're interested in the products and services that you have to offer. And how do you do that? Again, just going back to the fee, right? FEE. You need to find the right people. There you can, again, what we like to call spray and pray, send the same message to 1,000 people and hope like handful of them, answer your outreach. But we've seen a lot of decline rates in especially emails been down by like 30%. Or you can, get more targeted and follow those signs, right? So find the right people, engage with them effectively. How do you engage with them effectively? By using your relationship capital on LinkedIn. Like our last speaker said, there's no bad connections. Use those connections or your expanded network to leverage that relationship capital to get more meetings and more high quality conversations faster. And last but not least, elevate that conversation. Don't just Google one thing here and there. Make sure you show it up as a trusted advisor. And let me give you an example. Whether you're either cold calling or sending an email on LinkedIn, a connection request, email, one of my favorite ones is, let's say I'm calling someone, say, hi, I'm Veronica from LinkedIn. I did some research and noticed that a lot of your people are very active in our platform. Your sales and marketing team is very active on our platform. I spoke with your colleague, Sam, and he mentioned that one of his challenges is a decline in pipeline. He's trying to figure out how to get more pipeline that will turn into revenue and shorten those sales cycles. So, if this is something important to you, may I ask you one or two questions to see if we can have a larger conversation on a later date. So there you have it. That's basically my script for cold calling or some emails, shows that I've come prepared, that I've done some work by using my relationship capital and talking to their colleagues at the company, but also showing up with understanding their business and just asking one or two questions, if it makes sense, great. Or if not, we have a demo and a follow-up meeting. If not, we stay friends and follow each other on LinkedIn and continue to help each other as much as we can. So, last but not least, remember fee, fee, FEE.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Veronica. And I really loved how you actually described how you can use personalization, deep personalization versus this spray and pray approach. It's actually funny how it sounds. And we have some questions from our audiences. So a question from Julia. She is asking, do you believe that LinkedIn sales tools are applicable for selling complex tech or IT solutions?
Yes, I think sometimes we tend to overcomplicate things, and that's a great question, because we got to remember that we're selling to people, right? People selling to people, whether you sell, a widget for a car or a very complex. I actually feel LinkedIn is even better for complex tech solutions because we have relationship maps. We can integrate with your CRM and let you know if your data is up to date. The more complex the solution, the more people that are involved in the sales cycle. So we can help you find who they are, right? Making sure that they haven't changed jobs so they're aware. And then these days, the CFO, no matter how big or small the company is involved in every decision. So definitely just helping you map out that decision maker maps and have alerts so that you can use that relationship capital better. So, thank you for your
Yeah.
question.
Thank you. Yeah, makes a lot of sense. We all people, we all use social media, right? Even if we work in large businesses and tech, complex tech. Yeah, makes sense.
Absolutely.
Yeah, another question is how to interact with people if your audience is not active on LinkedIn. For example, uh, doesn't react or they don't post on LinkedIn. What do you think about it?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. I mean, there is a filter on LinkedIn that you can actually narrow down to those that are active on LinkedIn or that have posted. But another way around it would be to see if maybe they don't post, but they have been mentioned in the news, right? Maybe if your target company has been mentioned, they recently got new funding or they got new leadership. All that information can be tracked on LinkedIn so that you can use that as an icebreaker or to be relevant, right? And invite them to, whether it is to join LinkedIn or have a conversation with you. There's different signals that we can use to identify the right people and make sure that we're using the right information to be relevant.
Thank you. So if they don't post and don't react, it doesn't mean don't visit the platform, right? We
Correct.
can.
It doesn't mean, everyone uses it a little bit differently. Of course, sales and marketing people are very active, but also uh, C-level executives sometimes may have some help, or they just go and represent the company and make sure everything is up to date on the company page.
Yeah, makes sense. And actually, we have one more question about could you please share 3 to 5 tips on the strong values of LinkedIn Sales Navigator? Probably it means that how you can use it to get the best results.
Yes, absolutely. I think number one is prioritization. Like again, I keep using the example of spray and pray, but you can do that, or you can prioritize. Okay, there's 1,000 people in this company that I want to reach out to. Out of those, should I send everyone the same message, or one, should I filter by people that change jobs? Because based on LinkedIn data, people that change jobs are 62% more likely to answer cold outreach. So boom, that's my favorite filter right there. Change jobs in the last 90 days. Two, past customers and new companies. I think integrating with your CRM and tech stack helps you not having to toggle from one window to the other. But also, that's what we call, right, low hanging fruit. If someone that bought from you in the past, it's in another company in your target market, they already know how to buy from you. So that's another one of my favorite filters. Like, hey, Joe, you bought from us in the past, you know the process, the pricing, etc. Can we talk about implementing this in your new organization? And then three, all the time that we save with Gen AI. LinkedIn has added, Account IQ, which is like Chat GPT for summarizing 10Ks and information about a company, to Message IQ, which helps you draft messages, or gathering all the different data from LinkedIn posts or news or people at the company. And then three, we're rolling out new features in Q4 and also in 2025 that will help you actually create like an AI assistant, basically, to summarize all those leads and companies for you so that you know where to prioritize your time. So I like to see it like it's basically like Siri, right? You tell Siri, give me directions to go to this restaurant. Well, you'll be able to do that with Sales Navigator in the future. You'll be able to tell them, okay, help me identify, the CRO at company X, Y, and Z, to see if there's a warm connection there. So using those warm paths, right? Like for me, for example, like I said, change jobs is my favorite, past customer and new companies. And then also I went to Notre Dame. We love our alumni network. So I always use that filter where people went to school in my company list. And I reach out to them, we talk a little bit about college football, whether we're bad like a couple weeks ago or good as last week, and as an icebreaker, but also that commonality so that people, drop their guard, and then you follow up with that relevant message and showed up prepared.
Yeah, thank you. Makes sense. Yeah, I really love this kind of icebreakers.
Yeah.
So one more question from our audience is, you've mentioned using signals in LinkedIn Sales Navigator. In your opinion, how accurately can the category interest filters be used to find relevant targets prospects? Yeah,
Great.
this
That
is
sounds like someone's been using Sales Navigator. That's wonderful. There's certain categories that are more powerful than others. I've noticed I've have, clients, for example, from manufacturing to software to all different things. So that's when talking to your LinkedIn relationship manager is helpful to make sure that you're using the right signals. So category interest is really powerful for software, for tech, for different areas. So I would have to know a little bit more about your target market in your industry to be more specific. But I personally use it a lot. Like, we live what we sell here on LinkedIn, and I use it to prioritize my day. Sometimes I want to work on relevant messaging by industry. So if I'm talking to software companies, I want to make sure that out of my list of 100 plus, that I'm focusing on the ones that are ready to engage. And what that means, category intent, that means that people are on LinkedIn searching for, your products or services, that type of category, right? Whether it is, IT solutions or software or CRM, they're on LinkedIn looking at companies, maybe following them. LinkedIn tracks hundreds of different signals, all from first party data. Whether it is, again, if you saw a company that you like and you follow, or you click on the link to their website, or if you click on their ads or see their news. We track hundreds of different activities that are all real-time updates, right? Because they're driven by our members. And using on that, we create that brand awareness meter, which is the buyer intent or category intent, which goes from neutral to high intent. So every day we track those signals, and the more activities, the higher the category and the buyer intent. But that's a great question. It sounds like someone's been using a Navigator, which is great.
Yeah, some advanced users.
Yes.
Actually, and last question is about, you've mentioned Chat GPT, how you can use Chat GPT. And one of the participants, Yuri, he's asking about Copilot. So what do you think about Copilot? Because it's more like Microsoft's solution. Yeah. So what would you use, Chat GPT or Copilot?
I think it's a matter of preference, just like, I think, going back to my Droid versus Apple phone, some people are really like one or the other. The same with either Gmail or Microsoft Outlook. Of course, sometimes we're tied to whatever our company offers. We use Microsoft Outlook. So for me, every Microsoft Outlook or, PowerPoint, Excel, just Copilot's right there. So why would I write another tab when I can just click Copilot and ask different questions? It's all about the prompts. So in that case, if I'm using my email to like, hey, Copilot, help me find this email from customer X so that I can respond, right? Or in Excel, help me figure out this formula so I get rid of these numbers. Or in PowerPoint, help me summarize the key signals from this 50-page presentation, right? I think because I'm used to Microsoft tools and using on a daily basis, Copilot is just a click away in any of those tools. ChatGPT, I think it's more of kind of like, doesn't matter if you use Gmail or Outlook. I do use it still, and I like it because it does have, when it comes to creating like funny images, via DALL-E or different information that I might not have internally, right? Like external information, or just to verify certain information, validate that maybe the information that I gather is correct. I like that. And also just to throw some like random things, I do like all of them.
Thank you so much, Veronica. It was great. So it was Veronica Rivero with us. So thank you so much for your speech, for your presentation. It was very insightful and useful for our sales and marketing professionals. So before we jump to the next presentation, to our actually panel discussion, I would like to share a little bit of additional value if you are interested in how to use AI for your personal branding and social selling on LinkedIn. You can find our 100 slide guide. It's just free. It's posted on LinkedIn, so you can find it and use it. Just click reading this QR code. And of course, we'll share it as a follow-up after the event as well.